My friend is about to ask his girlfriend to marry her and I'm the only one who knows how unfaithful she is. Do I say anything? So my good friend Aaron and his girlfriend Mary have been together for almost 7 years. They meet in college and are in a very close relationship. Personally, I would call them extremely codependent. Neither of them really have any friends aside from each other. She doesn't let him have guy friends. In fact, she doesn't let him do a lot of things. He's not allowed to go out past 11, not allowed to drink or smoke, she has to approve of all of his friends, and he's not allowed to be alone with other girls. She's got this guy on a tight leash. The reason why they're still together is that Aaron is completely whipped, and to him she can do no wrong. He talks regularly about how amazed he still is that she finds him attractive. He's a decent-looking guy, but she's like supermodel level good-looking. They post cutesy couple photos every day, I'm pretty sure she makes him post them, and to everyone who sees them they appear to be the perfect magical fairy tale couple. Anyway, a few weeks ago he told my boyfriend and I that he was planning on proposing to Mary. Of course we congratulated him because he seemed super excited. Now here's the issue, a few weeks prior to this, I hung out with a friend of Mary, Allison. Allison told me about a party they went to where Mary got drunk and slept with her ex. After the party they began hooking up regularly, and she had a ménage à trois with him and a friend of his. Aaron has no knowledge of these hookups. I told my boyfriend about it because he shares my friendship with both of them, and he believes that we need to say something, but I'm not so sure how to even go about that. It will destroy him, ruin their entire relationship and maybe a friendship as well. However, I think in the long term he will be unhappy with a marriage where she's so controlling. Not even that, but if she's completely okay with cheating on her long-term partner, it will be the same once they're married. Is telling him the right thing to do? Edit, to clarify, the cheating has not been going on for 6 years, as far as I'm aware, and the hookups occurred recently. Edit 2, some of the commenters are calling me a bad friend for not telling him immediately. After giving it some thought and reading the comments, I have decided to tell him as soon as I can, most likely tonight if he's free to hang out. To those saying I'm being a bad friend for waiting, this is a huge deal, and it will greatly affect the future of Aaron, and I want to make sure I break the news in the correct way. This man is blinded by love. He's not going to be expecting this news at all and his whole life is about to change. I'm definitely not going to do nothing, because he deserves much better than this woman, and he deserves to know the truth about what he's getting into if he still decides to marry her. I'm expecting a full-blown shoot storm. I'm expecting him to be hurt, angry, in disbelief. I don't believe it's wrong that I'm asking for a bit of advice on how to approach this. Should I have told him sooner? Maybe, but what difference would a few weeks make? For all those asking, I'll post an update when I do it. Edit 3, I've talked to Aaron since I posted this and he is coming over tonight to talk/hang out. My BF and I are going to tell him together because he knows the situation as well. A few of you have suggested I talk to Mary first to give her a chance to come clean. Well, that's a good idea. I'm not as close to her as I am to Aaron, and I don't see that going over well. I would much rather tell him and leave it to him to decide what to do from there. Edit 4, new information has been received from the third-party friend Allison. She has sent me screenshots of texts that do prove Mary has been involved with her ex. They send messages regularly and he has sent her naked pics. Edit 5, Lamau just mentioned that Aaron just got to our house, 8 p.m. EST, will update later if I can. Thank you all so much for the kind messages and helping me work this hot mess out. I've been stressing about this all day, but I believe I am doing the right thing in telling him. Edit 6, quick little edit. 11 o'clock EST, we all talked for a good bit. I told him what I heard from Allison and it went better than expected, but he was still pretty mad and upset. We are all just chilling and drinking now. I'll post the whole story tomorrow. Thanks again for all the replies. Update. So I got lots of feedback on what to do here. A good majority of the commenters told me to say something. To clarify, it may not have been clear in the op, but I was never planning on doing nothing. Of course you gotta tell your bro if they're being cheated on. I just was not sure how to approach the situation. Some of the commenters gave me some very helpful advice. Some of you told me to talk to the girlfriend first, some of you told me to wait, some told me to gather a bunch of evidence first, which I ended up getting from Allison, the third-party friend. Some of you guys got angry with me for not telling him sooner, told me I was a bad friend. Some were sure he wouldn't believe me, some predicted the GF would deny it all. Well, all of you were somewhat right. Here's how it went down. I messaged Allison early on in the day, shortly after I made the post because typing it all out brought my guilt and apprehension from the situation to the surface. I said to Allison that I needed to tell Aaron, and asked whether or not she had proof. This was when she sent me the screenshots of the text messages. Aaron came over at around 8, and what was great was that Allison came over too. We all sat down and talked for a bit, and we all told him our suspicions about Mary. Allison showed him the text screenshots of Mary talking to her ex, and also told Aaron all the stories she shared about her sexual encounters. What was the most surprising was his reaction. He took it very well. He first got very quiet, and just nodded. Aaron ended up telling us that he had a sneaking suspicion that something was going on. He was not aware of the hookups, but he and Mary had gotten into fights before over the fact that she doesn't allow him near any other girls, but she goes out and flirts with other guys all the time. He told us that she had been distant lately, and would leave rather often without telling him where she was going. There were a few other small things he mentioned that told us he was just generally unhappy with his relationship. He knew in his gut something was wrong, but wanted to believe it wasn't true. We started unwinding with some alcohol after that, and it all got way more emotional. He cried, talking about how he felt stupid for not seeing it sooner, how he really loved her and would have given her anything. Then he got angry. At her, and even more so at the guy. Some unpleasant and derogatory terms were used to describe her. Ultimately he told us that he's going to be breaking it off, at least for now. We told him a million times how much better he deserved. He's definitely not going to marry her. Thanks again all for the supportive words and advice. We saved a good man from heartbreak.